Hi, I'm Michaela North. I have 4 kids and I'm a nutrition coach. And gosh, now I don't even know what else am I?
You don't need to be any.
Uh,
That's pretty good going. 4 kids and a nutrition coach. You can stop there, overachiever.
okay. Oh, okay, wait, let's start over. Okay. Hi, I'm Michaela North. I have 4 kids. I'm a nutrition coach and I work for Brute Strength Training as well.
Cool. All
There you
right.
go.
So, Michaela, I have a question for you. When
Okay.
you said anything was on the table. So, when you're naked and you're looking in the mirror, because you do this all the time, I'm sure. Um,
Yeah.
what is like the first thing you think?
Like in the present moment or like,
Yeah,
because
like when you're
it's
like just
changed. I would say, yeah, I think for the most part, when I'm like naked looking in the mirror, I'm usually like, yeah, I'm looking pretty strong. I feel good.
that's awesome.
I think, I think that's usually how I feel. I think sometimes I might want to like zero in on like, ooh, what's going on with those boobs after breastfeeding there, or like, dang, that loose skin is looking a little sad today, but whatever. I definitely have things where I notice things that I'm not as like pumped about, but overall, I do think it is. I'm in a place now mentally, I think, and emotionally where I'm able to look in the mirror and feel pretty good and pretty happy with myself and my body.
Has it always been like
And
that?
and I don't know that really has much to do with like physically how I'm looking because it always kind of is changing.
Hmm. Has it always been like that? Like, have you always been like, yeah, I'm looking strong, or like, have you always felt like competent with what your body can
No,
do?
no, definitely not. I mean, yeah, I would say, through childhood, I definitely probably picked myself apart a lot more, just because, you know, for me growing up, I don't think I always kind of looked different than a lot of the my peers in terms of like just, a lot of the girls that I hung out with. I always have been really muscular, which now I love and appreciate and I'm so grateful for, but growing up it wasn't really something I was happy with. Just having like way bigger legs than all my friends, my arms were same thing, like way bigger than most of my friends. I was always kind of comparing myself and wanting to be smaller, just smaller everything. And I think when I got a college scholarship for track and field, and that was probably one of the first times I started to really appreciate my body for what it was capable of
Hmm.
versus just how it looked. And then, fast forward through running track in college, I kind of battled both with body image things because obviously with being a collegiate track and field athlete, you are expected to look a certain way and in order to perform a certain way, right? And I don't know that that's necessarily always true, but I definitely felt that pressure as an athlete to, be a certain level of leanness and look a certain way to so that I was able to perform my best. And so I struggled with that a little bit too throughout college. And then fast forward again, when I found CrossFit, I think that brought me a lot of confidence seeing other people, so many other people that just looked like me. Like it was just kind of fun to just see, and I don't know when I noticed it. Maybe if it was the first time I watched the games, like on TV, just seeing all the women that were so strong and had a lot of muscle. It was like I had a moment of like, oh, I I do have people out there that I'm like, these are my people. And not that it really matters, but I think it is helpful to see other people that you can relate to.
Hmm.
And I think that I've learned that more so too as after pregnancy. That was a big one for me with my body image I had twins, and I had twins that were large. They were both 6 pounds, and I carried just right out in front. And that did a lot of damage. I had an umbilical hernia. I had, very separated abs that have stayed separated. And I was left, postpartum in being like a CrossFit athlete and a nutrition coach. And in the fitness world, there's a lot of women that I really looked up to. And now I just didn't have any role models that I really could relate to in that sense. And that really did a number on my self-confidence postpartum, that first, pregnancy. Just kind of feeling like, yeah, I didn't really have any women that were in the same realm as me that had experienced the same thing as me. And I sort of felt like a failure. Like, what did I do wrong here?
Right.
Because now I have this, this pooched out belly. I have all these things that are going on with my body that I didn't expect. And I kind of thought I did everything right. Mm-hmm. And so now maybe, I don't know. And so I went through just a lot of internal dialogue with myself, and kind of sorting through my thoughts and feelings, and came out on the other end realizing that it was okay. Like, there's so many things with our bodies that we don't have control over. And I think, too, once I kind of decided to, like, open up and I realized that there are other women out there. Maybe I can't see them, just like with CrossFit. There are other women out there that probably I could relate to. And the more I open up, the more I'll probably be able to find those women. And that's sort of what I did. I just started sharing, like, my thoughts and my feelings and just what my body looked like, because I wasn't seeing those pictures. I wanted to make sure I was providing those pictures for other women that were looking for that. Mm-hmm. Just like that relatability, mm-hmm. And so the more I did that, the more, like, responses I got of women just saying how grateful they were to realize that, oh, like, there's another woman out there that's really strong, and she loves fitness, and she has loose skin and all these, things with her body, but it's, like, not holding her back. It's not stopping her from wearing a bikini or playing with her kids or exercising and, like, being proud of her fitness. And so I can do that too. And just the more, like, reassurance I got, I think, from other women of how much it helped them, mm-hmm. the more it helped me too. The process. I mean, of just finding confidence.
Totally. I think you just went through the whole, like, many women's brains as they age from their teens to their 20s to then having children to postpartum. And I think, there's so many women that we know that are in our realm right now that are going through so many similar things to us. This postpartum phase where you're like, you feel like you should be a certain way, but you're not. And then you realize you're like, it doesn't really matter. Like I brought up what you think about yourself, like, in the mirror, not to make the focus about being what we look like, but the exact opposite, and, like, as you said, like, I think I look great, and that's great. Like, and a reason I actually said it was I had this exact same moment that you did. That today I was swimming with my kids, and one of them was going poop, and I was standing by a mirror, and I just, like, looked back to, like, you just look in the mirror. Yeah. And I kind of had a little, like, oh, okay, it's what my butt looks like now. All right, like, yep. And like, a part of me was kind of like, okay, like, I don't see that very often. And then I was like, well, I don't work out like I used to, like and it was fine. Like, I had a moment of, okay, well, that's cool, but shucks. And then I moved on.
Moving on.
Yeah, and then I moved on, and then I wiped his butt, and I was like, yeah, this is life. Like, let's keep going.
Yeah.
But, like, so you, that was, like, a great, like, transition for you, was putting yourself out there and getting that, like, assurance from other women. But, like, how do you think other women can get there, like, faster, not have babies to realize that it doesn't matter what we look like. Yeah. Or, even CrossFit, like, CrossFit is, like, it was a great experience for you because, you've always been muscular, but what about people who aren't muscular and come into the CrossFit space and have this like aspirations to
Totally.
have these abs and, you know, like look a certain way. Um,
Yes.
like, what do you think that, like, I mean, I'm not asking for like a magic pill, but like, what is your advice to people who like aren't like us and haven't like just accepted, you know, this is us?
Yeah.
Um,
What it is.
you know,
Yeah, I think that I would oh, sorry. I would say so in terms of like really really and also I just want to caveat this. Like I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect at this. This is kind of a lifelong process, I think, a learning process for me, for sure. And it's something I'm always working on and but I would say one of the biggest factors for me really like sharing and relating to other women that's been amazing and I think just realizing too that we are all so much more similar than we realize. We all have so much more in common than we realize. Everybody
totally.
has insecurities. You can't
Hmm.
you can't like eliminate your insecurities, right?
Right.
But it's more of just like we're not like you said about your backside or whatever. Like if I see a photo of my nose from the side, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't like love that angle. That doesn't mean I don't love my nose. I
Right.
love my body, and I
Right.
and that doesn't mean I think my body's perfect either. Like
Right.
it means that I have acquired and practiced a lot of gratitude for my body
Right.
over the years. And I think that's the main thing is I'm so grateful for my body. And I think me and this body of mine, this 30, almost 32-year-old body of mine, we've been through a lot together.
Hmm.
We've been through twin pregnancies. I've pushed it through a marathon, the CrossFit Games. I've, I've done a lot of hard things physically. And I think a lot of that is because in like, I don't know, challenging myself physically is such a great way for me to really tune in mentally to just developing strength mentally. And
Totally.
so
That's
in
it.
during yeah.
I think you just hit the nail
And
on the
so
head.
it's
It's
not
like,
that like
yeah,
yeah, I don't do all these hard things physically so I can look a certain aesthetic. If that was the case, I would just strictly go to bodybuilding. Like I would train muscle groups, but I haven't because I want to do things that, and not to say that that's not hard, that's super hard, in a different kind of way. But the reason why I'm doing fitness and those things, like I'm moving my body in ways that I really enjoy and ways that challenge me. And doing those things regularly have helped me create so much gratitude for what my body's able to do.
hmm,
And so, yeah, the byproduct is how it looks, but and I think I do love the way I look because I know how hard my body works for me, and I'm so grateful for my health and my legs that can run when I ask them to, and you
right,
know, and so it's just like so much more than that
yeah.
that
I
I
think,
I'm allowing my
yeah, I think what you just said
yeah.
about
I
like,
was just gonna say I'm
sorry, finish off.
oh go ahead sorry
I think there's a
I was just
delay.
gonna say I'm like able to give my body that grace when
Right.
it's having a rough go.
Hmm. Yeah. That's that. Yeah. I think the connection of like, of the physical and the mental, I think is something that a lot of people would be able to, it's like an aha moment. Like, oh, if I'm going to make my body do this, like it's, the spin off is that I'm going to feel better and I'm going to feel strong and I'm going to feel more capable and it doesn't need to be just CrossFit. It could be anything, like you say, running a marathon
Oh,
or going on a doing mountain
hikes.
biking, hiking, whatever. Like I think especially for women, like doing physical things make women feel more empowered. Like
Yes.
childbirth is
Yes.
a prime example, but not every woman goes through childbirth. So it's like, but I think all like
Uh,
physical tasks that you otherwise maybe don't think you can do, or you push yourself and you finish it, it's like, wow, that's really cool, I did that. And I think yeah, like it makes women empowered. And I think if more women can make that connection, then having those insecurities of what their body looks like will probably be less and less.
Yeah, because when you make that connection, and then when you make it once, and then when you make it 1,000 times, and then 1,000,000 times, like you just so much, like you solidify that you are so much more than an aesthetic. Like you're so much more than just what you look like. And so I think, yeah, just like you said, like every time you are moving your body and pushing your limits and challenging yourself, and that's going to look so different for everyone, you know?
Totally.
And like having fun with your body and doing things that you love, you're making that connection that your body is worth so much more than just how it's put together and how it looks. And you can, I think, you know, you can cultivate that self-love in a way that's just deeper than 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 liking how you look in the mirror.
Yeah, totally. And I think we've really only just scratched the surface of this topic, but we'll pause it there.
It's yeah. Yeah, so I would say if you're struggling, then start moving your body and start writing down things you're grateful for and start finding role models that make you feel good about yourself and not bad about yourself.
Yes.
And then do your best to stop comparing because we are all so different.
Right. Physically and mentally, but yeah, physically we all look different.
Yeah.
And that's why it makes
physically we're all
great.
different. And like what the things that we're struggling with and the life things that we're going through and the hours that we have to ourselves in the day and just everything.
Cool.